Hello.
Hi everybody, welcome to Facebook Live. Randy Laney and Wex with you as we get ready, what are we, 30 minutes, 29 minutes away from Sports Sunday. We decided we do these usually after Sports Sunday, but now we have a new time. You know, we know you might want to start getting ready for bed, but we want you to hang on.
Just start getting ready now.
Yeah, don't go to bed yet. 11 o'clock Sports Sunday. We got a big show for you don't want to miss. So we're talking all kinds of things, and we were just discussing now. U of H Cougars, what a great story they have been. They go to Cincinnati today, get the outright AAC championship. Pretty cool story there with Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, I think today was like the exclamation point on an amazing season, and I think they gained a lot of respect. You know, they had the loss to UCF, well, 2 games back, and I think this was really big for them to go prove themselves, get this win it outright. They didn't want to share it, and I think it's going to help out their seeding when it comes tournament time too.
They blew them out.
Yeah. The first half was real.
Well, 2 point, yeah, 2
The
points.
first
Second
half,
half.
It's the largest deficit Cincinnati's had all season there in the second half, and obviously this is clearly it's the second best team in probably a 4-team conference. I think 4 teams are going to get bids out of the American Athletic Conference. Cougars probably have to beat 2 of them if they're going to win the conference title. They'll play Friday at 11 a.m. their first game. They obviously earned a bye by being the #1 seed. Great night earlier this week. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot into it tonight, but senior night for the Cougars was unbelievable. The 4
really
seniors
cool.
they have there, Corey Davis and Galen Robinson, are clearly the leaders emotionally of this team. And then Davis goes out there today and goes up for a career-high 31 points. Talked to him and Galen when they got back on the bus from the airport to the facility today. And as you mentioned in your tease just a few minutes ago, they were pretty fired up about getting Coach Sampson in the locker room.
That was a great video. That was an outstanding video. Hey, we'll show it to you again coming up on Sports Sunday. Also, I sat out with Coach Sampson a few days ago at his office there, and really interesting. He kind of walked, and we've heard the story before. He kind of walked through when he took the job, why he took the job, and the questions he had for U of H before he even accepted the job. But you know what? He felt like he was destined to be the guy to lead this program, and I mean, what a job he's done. So, pretty cool interview coming up. He kind of opens up about the journey to get to this point right now, and what's ahead for the Cougars. So we'll have that tonight.
Before we switch off of U of H, another big shout out to the track field. The men's team placing second at the indoor championships. That's a first for the program history. So U of H athletics on the rise. For sure.
All right, so we got the U of H. We will be talking Rockets. Let's talk Rockets real quick. Rockets were in Dallas. They wrapped up about an hour and a half ago. Came down to the wire.
Absolutely dominated the Mavericks. Blew them out of the building. Crushed them.
Mavericks are a bottom barrel team, but they gave them all they could handle tonight. It came down to a great block by Chris Paul to kind of secure that win tonight. But again, they're finding ways just to get it done. 8th straight win. 3rd seed in the Western Conference. I mean, they're looking pretty good right now.
The possibilities to rise up, something we're going to discuss on the show coming up in about half an hour. Obviously, the keys to that, we'll get into that coming up in a little bit, but the way that they won tonight, that was new. They haven't had a lot of games where both teams struggled to score. They were playing defense, which they've played a lot better since the All-Star break, and a lot of that has to do with getting their personnel back. Should have Kenneth Fareed back during this extended homestand that starts after tonight's game in Dallas.
And they've got Charlotte in town tomorrow, right, for another home game?
And then that Warriors team that can't beat the Suns, they'll be in town later this week too.
All right, so we'll talk Rockets and kind of what it means right now for the Western Conference. NFL free agency ramps up tomorrow, so we're all keeping an eye on what moves are going to be made, who's going to be released, who's going to be signed. It's always fun for a couple of days here, a few days.
It's already started. This last week was insane with obviously unofficial deals.
Yeah, you can't quote announce them.
I mean, for Antonio Brown to be able to hit Twitter and break the news that he's going to be a Raider and break the news that he's going to love to play with Derek Carr, who they're not even yet committed to.
Yeah, so that's going to happen, I guess, become official starting tomorrow. Texans, what direction do they go? I mean, is it running back? Would they roll the dice on that? That's an important question.
I would actually think that they might do that, and if they do, I think it'd be an awesome addition. They want to win. They want to win right now. They've got the other pieces on offense and on defense. I think that would set it off. Yeah,
they got Lamar Miller, who, I don't know how much they believe in him. He's probably got 1 year. If he does stay, it's probably for 1 more year. You got Deontay Foreman coming back, but he could be a big piece. It's matter would they do it as an organization?
Yeah.
They haven't done things like that, but again, it doesn't really matter when we kind of reference history for the Texans because it's a totally different regime now. Brian Gaine really in free agency, even though he was in place last year. Right. This is really his first crack at trying to reshape the team with a very good cap situation.
Yeah. Would they go out and get some defensive help as well? Cornerback, maybe, secondary?
Yeah.
whether it's through free agency or drafts, you're going to.
You can draft all the cornerbacks you want on the first day of the draft coming up in April. You're not going to put them all out on the field to open the season. They're going to have to be some veterans that aren't on the team right now. That includes potentially, Kareem and Tyrann, obviously as safeties, but their cornerback group, really after Jonathan Joseph, is non-existent. There's nobody there.
Yeah, so they got lucky with someone like Justin Reed, but that's not going to be every player that you're going to draft that's going to be able to step in and play like that.
So free agency will start tomorrow, so we'll keep you updated all week long. We're getting some folks weighing in here on the Astros. Spring training continues, getting a little closer now. March 28th is the season opener, but people are asking about Keuchel. There's a report out that the Astros have actually been in contact with him, perhaps made an offer or two. He's waiting to see who else may come after him. I saw an article the other day, the Yankees now, with Severino being injured, they could come after Keuchel and pay him some money.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's getting a little anxious at this point.
That's what I was going to say. The concern at this point now for not only him, but also whatever team ends up getting him is that he's not playing in any spring training. I mean, how many spring training games will he be able to play in?
Yeah, at this point,
and that does affect the starting pitcher.
I mean, he's been training, but that only takes you so far. You got to be in a game.
A lot of people point out J.D. Martinez from a year ago. It took forever to get him signed. Boston signed him. Good deal, not an overwhelming deal.
Right.
He comes in, no problem. He's a position player, or a DH in his case. Totally different. Keuchel's not stretched out. He's not prepared to go 6-7 innings at any point early in the season. Certainly not his opening start, whenever that might be. You said he might be anxious. I'm sure what he is begins with an A and N, but it ends with a G-E-R. He's got to be angry. He's got to have some anger.
I had to really just spell that out in my head. I'm like, where are we going with that?
Kind of letting that out of keep up.
He should be ticked off that this is what his offseason has become, whether it's at his agent or at the Astros for not coming up with a deal while he was with them over the last 5 years. But this is nowhere land for Keuchel. It's a bad place to be.
I think teams are playing it a lot more safe, though, because he isn't coming off that Cy Young season, and I think there's been some players in the past that people have gotten these big contracts to, and it's been a little bit of a bust. So I think teams are holding back. Maybe what him and his agent are asking for, other people aren't really match that.
Yeah, so. People are pointing at the $300 million for Harper and Machado, but nobody else is getting anything. Maldonado, the Astros former catcher, got next to nothing to sign with the Royals. Marwin Gonzalez got good money, way less than everybody thought he was going to make. And all those players in between, Keuchel and Craig Kimbrell, all these guys, the money's there, but it doesn't look like any team's willing to spend it, so they're just kind of sitting around.
Not sure if Marwin was offered anything prior to and turned it down. I don't remember the timeline on that, but if he was, I'd be curious where that money was at that point, what he got in Minnesota.
Can't you envision a scenario where the Astros said, well, if you want 2 years, $21 million, we'll do it. But they probably did not believe that was as low as he was going to settle for. He probably didn't either.
Yeah.
A quick shout out to the Dynamo as well. They won again.
Yeah, they did.
A big win. They had a goal from Mauro Manotas, who's always scoring. I feel like in every single game, we're always seeing his names on the highlights. And also shout out that Channel 2 does love the Dynamo. I got kind of in trouble on Twitter last night by some people because I showed their highlights at 6 and not 10 because it was an early game, and I had to explain to everyone we always show the Dynamo highlights.
There you go.
So didn't have time for the 10. So shout out to the Dynamo. They're having a strong start.
Yeah, a good start. A lot of season left, but I feel like they've improved.
Yes.
And they got to get back to the playoffs, make a little run at the MLS Cup. So that's kind of a sample of what we got coming up. Again, the news is on right now. If you don't know, news is now 10 to 11 as of last week, so we got pushed back 30 minutes. We trust that you will still lock us in starting at 11 o'clock. We'll all three be in studio for Sports Sunday. A lot to get to. I see some Cougar fans writing in. We're going to be talking lots of U of H, Astros, free agency, Rockets, and much, much more. So we'll see you coming up at 11 o'clock, Sports Sunday, right here on Channel 2. So stick around. In 20 minutes, we're on. We'll see you then.